The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Good evening and welcome to the Good Stuff Live. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and if you enjoy talking about music, movies, and mostly TV from decades gone by, well, you've come to the right place. So first off, apologies tonight, folks. I am severely under the weather. I've got some sort of stomach flu that has just knocked me out for the last couple of days, and I thought I was on the mend, and I am not, at least not yet. So I am definitely, didn't want to cancel at last minute. So I thought, you know what, we'll hang out, we'll do some things. I just can't guarantee how long we'll do things for tonight, but I did want to welcome all those fine folks who've been hanging out and waiting for the live stream. Looks like to me that our friend Danny Staten was one of the first to arrive tonight. Welcome, Danny. I saw that picture that you sent me of the Adam 12 #1 comic book. That is awesome. Very, very cool. Looking forward to seeing you do a video on that one at some point in the future. Although I'm sure you want to treat that particular copy with kid gloves, and yeah, that's a gem, my friend. Let's see. We've got channel member Justin Aylett, channel member John Collins, Donovan, the Nostalgic Pod Blast, channel member Lance Chaffin. Let's see who else is here hanging out, reminiscing. Channel member Keith E. Lots of good chat, lots of good movies being mentioned from 1982. Good Owner is here. Did I mention Donovan? Welcome to both of you. Nick Mamonis, always a treat to have you hang out with us on a live stream, on any live stream. Stephen R., welcome. Good to have you here as well. Yeah, I don't have a lot of energy tonight, folks. I'm sorry. Oh. Kenneth Wilkinson, welcome to the live stream as well. Let's see. Who else is hanging out? I love this kind of conversation, just scrolling through. Just everybody's being so kind and friendly to each other, so welcoming. That's what we live for here, right? Channel member Tracy Rothmeyers, aka Tracy's Fractured History, and more. Justin, I got to say, I've been enjoying your videos over on your channel. You've had some good success. If I noticed right, one of your videos is hitting 1,000 views. That's pretty darn impressive for a relatively new channel. So keep up the good work, my friend. Let's see. David C., welcome to the live stream. David says, I watched Catchy TV this last weekend and saw several episodes of Happy Days. It was a great show the first few years that it was on. It sure was. And we're going into the 50th year of Happy Days. It was debuted on ABC in 1974. Johnny Burnett, welcome to the live stream. The stomach flu is horrible, David C. I don't think I felt quite this bad in a long time. Auburn Kim, thank you. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, even if I'm not quite on my A game. Christy Deanne L., thank you so much for your prayers and thoughts. Douglas Shankland, welcome. Good to have you here. Media Archive Mike says, rest in peace, Joyce Randolph. Yep, the last of the Honeymooners cast. Larry Moore, you're not late at all. Welcome to the live stream. And Gary Carpenter, yes, indeedy. Joyce was, well, that's not that one. There we go. She was 99 upon her passing. A great long life. Let's see. Okay, let's go right here to this question from channel member John Collins, who says, with those DVD sleeves, do you have to already have the artwork for the film? Or is there some way to find the artwork for the films if you don't have the original artwork for the DVD? A long time ago, John, there used to be websites out there that had covers that you could print up. I haven't looked in a long time for those. I suspect they're not as prevalent as they once were. And so probably the correct answer is yes. The supposition is, if you're buying those sleeves, is that you take the artwork out of the jewel case and put it into the sleeves. Let's see. Gary Carpenter points out that today is Betty White's birthday. Hey, Michael Reed's Travels is here. Welcome, Michael Reed's Travels. Good to have you here as well. And our buddy Steve Tevis from The Life and Sad Ending. Boy, his channel's a lot of fun to visit as well. We've got some great YouTube creators on the live stream in the chat tonight. We've got Steve, and we've got Justin, and we've got Danny Staten, and am I missing? Oh, Tracy Roth Myers as well. So we've got quite a few YouTube creators here. I'd encourage you all to check out their channels as well. Hey, look at this, Yukaloo. Looks like you've changed your name, Emily Barnes. I'll do my best to remember that is you, and welcome to the live stream tonight. There's Ms. Elizabeth, says hello there and good evening to Dave and all the fabulous people in the chat. Hoping everybody's new year is off to a phenomenal start, and I'm happy to see you all. And we are happy to see you as well, Ms. Elizabeth. Let's see. Michael Reed's Travels is asking if we're familiar with the film E.T. I would say, Michael, if that is your name, and I suspect that it is, that you're going to find that this group is very familiar with the film E.T., given that most of the individuals that are here and in the chat were either children or teens or young adults when that movie first came out. And of course, if you're asking me that question, I am very familiar with it. I remember standing in line to go see it at a theater in Crossroads Mall at Salt Lake City, Utah. And right behind me, waiting to go see it as well, was a basketball point guard great, John Stockton. And I said hi, but I did not attempt to engage in conversation otherwise with the man. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I've heard that wasn't his thing. But yeah, that's my memory of E.T., besides it being a great film, was attending it and seeing it with John Stockton. Member of the Utah Jazz. Let's see. Yukaloo. Okay, I said it right. That's great. Johnny Burnett says that the compact disc debuted in Japan in 1982. I remember I became aware of them in 1982, but I didn't see them, I think, in the wild until maybe 84, 85, somewhere around there. Hey, Barry King, welcome to the live stream. Always good to have you here. For those folks that are just joining, I can't guarantee how long I'm going to last tonight. I'm midway through a bout with the stomach flu, and it's really, really knocking me for a loop. So I'm not laughing because I have the stomach flu. I'm laughing at this comment from Steve Tevis over at the Life and Sad Ending channel. He says, referring to Michael Reed's question about, are we familiar with E.T.? He says, isn't that the one with Drew Barrymore? I think the one and only. The one and only. Bigelow 65, good to have you here with us as well tonight. Oh, Raja 1938 is here. Yay, you did. You made a live stream. Happy to have you with us. Welcome. Hey, Joe Anderson. Let's see. Michael Reed's Travels asked, do you think there will be a remake of the film Dragon Slayer? In the back of my head, I read that there was going to be one. I don't know how far progress has been, if it's in pre-production or what actually, it's how far along they are in the process of that one. But I think at some point we might actually see that. Yes, Drew Barrymore played Gertie in E.T. Okay, Auburn Kim talks about some of the great 80 movies in 82, Wrath of Khan, Poltergeist, Dark Crystal. Yeah, I say some of those might be 81, 83 as well, but you're right in that time frame. John Collins asks, Dave, how many DVD sleeves do you receive in one order? By the way, it was 20 degrees today in my part of Florida. Wow, cold in Florida. That is very cold. You say, oh my granted, I don't live in the Florida part of Florida, but still, yeah, we expect it to be a little warmer no matter where you are. Gary tells me to take some Pepto. I will. I've had this for 2 days. I will continue to do so, my friend. Unfortunately, Pepto doesn't cure. It may address some of the symptoms, but it really doesn't cure a stomach flu. So the question John Collins had, I got distracted, was there's 100 in the DVD sleeves if you order the Terrafolds. Now, I've seen some others out there that are about half the price for 100. I just don't know the quality of those. The Terrafolds came recommended to me, and I've been impressed with the quality of those. And I actually ordered my second batch of 100 since I've put 100, as I showed you in that channel members only video. I have my first 100 DVDs in that small plastic case. And so I have more DVDs than that, a lot more. And I plan on keeping my DVDs for a long time, folks. If I haven't already shared with you, I really am. There was a time when I really believed that I might give away all my DVDs or donate them to Goodwill or sell them on eBay or something. But that time has passed. I have been burnt a few times over the last few months where I've gone to a streaming media service knowing that they had a movie that I wanted to watch. And the movie has been removed and it's nowhere to be found. And over the course of the past few months, it's really dawned on me that the only way I can be certain of being able to watch a movie when I want to watch a movie is to own the movie outright. Whether I choose to own it through VHS, which is not likely. I do have a handful of VHS movies that I'm holding on to for fun. But the other way is a DVD or a Blu-ray disc. And so I'm actually looking to expand my collection. Some movies that I had purchased because I didn't think I would ever need to, I'm going to go ahead and purchase because I just don't trust the streaming services. Their promise of having everything available at my fingertip for a lifetime via my remote, well, it's just not true. I think probably the greatest perpetrator of this evil in this world is HBO Max, or Max as they like to call themselves these days. Ever since they've been bought out by Discovery, they've done some truly horrible things. And not the least of which is canceling an already completed Batgirl movie just so that they could take a tax write-off. There is an entire movie out there starring, I can't remember the name of the girl who plays Batgirl. She was in a movie called In the Heights that I really liked. Latina actress, but also starring Brendan Fraser and Michael Keaton returning as Batman again. And they took a freaking tax write-off because the test audiences weren't giving them the scores that they wanted. Additionally, I am a big fan of the Super Friends cartoon. They have completely taken the Super Friends cartoons off of Max, and they continue to remove program after program, movie after movie. They're not the only ones to do this. It's not just Max. Netflix has done this as well. Disney Plus has done this. Hey, you want to go check out that new Willow TV series that was on Disney Plus? Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't great. But you can't go watch it. You can't watch it anywhere because Disney Plus took it off the air. There was a movie that they had on Disney Plus that they left on for 6 weeks, and it's gone. Can't watch it anymore. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but that's why I'm keeping my DVDs and actually buying more DVDs. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Michael Reed says I should visit the Comic-Con in Chicago next year. Any Comic-Con ever invites me to be a guest, I will be there. Let's see. The final episode of Barney Miller premiered on ABC in 82. Justin knows how much I like Steve Perry. Journey did not have a hit album in 83, but weren't they still riding high on the charts from Escape? That was 81, right? And when did Frontiers come out? Was that 84? Let's see. Hey, look at that. Yeah, the Pepto. And I don't know what else it's going to take to get over this. Good to have you here, Pat. Good to have you here. All right. So I think I've welcomed everybody. Emily says it was below freezing in Salt Lake City today. It sure was. And the snow, it just kept snowing. It was awful. Yeah. Those of us that have grown up here, we're used to it, but that doesn't mean we like it anymore. Let's see. Jay Aldrich gives me some advice. Says, believe me, just let the stomach flu run its course, or it will take longer to get rid of. I've gone through it. Many does. Yeah. I am happy to just let it kind of do its thing. I'd like to let it do its thing quickly. Run its course quickly, right? Let's see. Yes, Gary points out that there are movies here on YouTube that you can't find on DVD or tape. Very, very true. Hey, Rachel in the 208. Good to have you with us. And only 257. What a treat it is to see your name there. John Collins asks this question. Dave, how did you become an Amazon influencer? Did that mean you purchase a lot of items on Amazon so they know who you are very well? Or how did that designation come to be? I'm trying to remember. I believe I got an invitation. And that was after I'd already been an Amazon affiliate for a number of years. But I got an invitation to apply, not to be one. I got an invitation to apply to be one, and then they assessed my credentials. And ultimately, they allowed me to be that. And that allows me to do things like, I could live stream over on Amazon, but I've tried that a couple of times and didn't really enjoy it tremendously. So what I do now is, you'll see on a few items, so if you go check out the Terrafold DVD sleeves over there, you should see a video of mine over there. So there's a handful of products over there on Amazon where there's videos of mine recommending them. I don't typically do like negative reviews. So if I don't like a product, I simply just leave it alone. But the products I like, I'll do a video on. Ms. Elizabeth says, I have 6 bookcases full of DVDs and Blu-rays and could actually use a few more for storage. I was really thinking about, before I decided to go the route of the Terrafold sleeves, I had thought about buying some more bookcases and just couldn't figure out where I was going to put them. Yeah, Pat, I got off my soapbox. The rant is over. Media Archive Mike says that Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl in the Batman and Robin movie. No, this was not Alicia Silverstone. Let's see. New Batgirl actress. What was her name? Leslie Grace was going to be the new Batgirl before it all went to pot. Lots of good images out there if you search for them, though. Let's see. Yes. Music Girl 67 points out that The Thing came out in 82. I saw that movie at a drive-in theater. Great movie. And one of the absolute best horror remakes of all time. I totally agree. Bigelow 65 says, is Michael Keaton making an appearance in the Flash movie, which he did, yes. Another mistake, they picked Flash over the Batgirl. I love the Flash movie. I have no complaints about the Flash movie. I thought it was fun. And it was great to see Michael Keaton back in the role, but I would have loved to have seen him in the Batgirl movie as well. Hey, Byron USA. So he says, I prefer free streaming services over paid ones. A much better variety, especially if you like the classics. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Tubi, Pluto, they all seem to really offer a nice selection if you're a fan of classic entertainment, like, movies and TV shows from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Let's see what else we got. Lance says, Dave, drink Sprite. It will help. What about Diet Coke? Will that help? My mom always used to tell me that Sprite helps settle the stomach. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Gatorade, I can see why that might be good for you. Lots of good conversation. I don't see any other questions directed towards me. So we're going to have a little fun here. I'm going to play some classic commercials. And then I am going to, hey, Deborah, good to have you here. And Adrian's here too. Hey, Adrian. Phil Garza's here as well. Some names I haven't said hello to. Blotchy Bear, happy belated New Year to you as well. Patricia Moganim, welcome. Yeah, Cheers started in 82. Was not a hit its first year. Not a hit. Oh, I love Tron. Adrian James points out that Tron came out in 82. Recently lost Cindy Morgan. Yeah, we did. Let's see. Here's a fun memory from Auburn. Kim, 1982 is my first car date, first trip to the Mardi Gras, first prom, first big concerts. Adam and the Ants. I saw Adam Ant not too long ago. He's still pretty good. Let's see. Well, thanks for all your support, John. I'm glad you've watched all the reviews, and I hope that no one would consider you a snob because you enjoy my videos or are such a staunch supporter of the channel as you are. I've heard things about ginger ale. I've heard ginger ale helps settle the stomach as well. Media Archive Mike says, thanks. I know Leslie Grace was going to be the new Batgirl. She is Latina. It's a shame that movie was shelved. Mark my words, it will eventually leak, just like the 1994 unreleased Fantastic Four movie. I'd like to see it leak. I really would. As much to see Brendan Fraser as Firefly, the villain Firefly, as to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. Jay Eldridge says that Sprite is better than Diet Coke for your flu. Okay. I'll give it a try. We got some out in the fridge. Terrell, Eugene Bellinger, I always miss you, my friend. It's good to have you here at the live stream tonight. So I was telling everybody else, not doing great tonight. This thing will probably only last a half hour or so, but it's great to have you all here. I didn't think, I saw super stickers from Kevin Connor, and I didn't see one from you, Lance, but you said there was one there, so I'm going to thank you as well. So thank you, Kevin Connor and Lance Chaffin, for your super stickers tonight, for your supporters. You are both my executive producers for the evening. Emily, great to have you here. Tell David and JoJo good night for me. Take care. Hey, there's Jerry Gillespie. Good to have you here. Justin says the trick is to starve the virus. Yeah, that's what I'm discovering is that I really hadn't ate anything yesterday, and then I ate tonight, and now I'm really in a lot of pain. So shouldn't have had it. It was some really yummy beef stew and a biscuit that my wife made, and it was so yummy, and I was so hungry. But I'm paying the price now. Nostalgic Pod Blast asked if there's any video tonight. Oh yeah. So I got way late. I was mentioning what we're going to do here. I'm going to play some commercials. I'm going to play a video about 1982. I'm going to come back and give some channel memberships away. And then we're going to play a game, a 1982 game. So hope you're all up for it. Should be a really fun next 35 minutes or so. So hold tight, folks, and I shall return shortly. But right now, let's take care of some of our very important sponsors.
And now, this message.
You've got a Pepsi generation way of tasting life. I can see it in your style, your look, your laugh, your smile. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You're the Pepsi generation, sharing one great taste for life. Pepsi's got your taste for life.
You'll love our new clock, Morris.
Not necessarily.
Watch now.
It certainly captures her personality.
Time to eat something new.
Sit tight, Morris. It's the finicky hour.
There's 9 Live's new sliced veal and gravy.
I thought I'd heard everything.
Tender, bite-sized veal slices in special gravy.
Sliced veal. Wow.
9 Live's new sliced dinners for finicky cats.
I'm a little cuckoo about this, 9 Lives.
Hey, son.
Hi.
So how's the wiener business?
Well, frankly, Dad, it's dog eat dog.
Very funny. Here, you brush while I laugh.
Hey, this isn't regular AIM.
Nope, it's new AIM Mint.
Mint, all right.
Use it. It's got fluoride, and it's clinically proven to fight cavities.
Yeah, and with the mint taste, I'll have to fight off all the women at the hot dog heaven.
Stop dreaming and start brushing.
Introducing AIM Mint. Now there are 2 great tasting ways to take aim against cavities.
Wednesday, a madman discovers the secret of mind control.
Hypnosis?
And builds the next target. Look out, America. Your fate's in the hands of the greatest American hero. Then,
Action!
a movie set becomes a hot seat when cold stunts are sabotaged on the Fog. Wednesday.
'82 was truly a wonderful year. It was the year that I graduated from high school. And at long last, I was finally free from the rigors of education, free to live my life as I pleased, at least until fall rolled around, and then I would be attending a local technical college. However, I must admit I was pleasantly surprised to discover that none of my professors that fall really seemed to care if I attended their classes or not. Maybe I was truly free after all. The downside to that discovery was that my grades were absolutely horrible during that first year of college life. So bad, in fact, that I decided I probably needed to take a break. A very long break. I wouldn't tackle college again in earnest for about 5 years. And that's okay because there was so darn much going on in 1982. It was the year that I first really became aware of visionaries like Steve Jobs and John DeLorean. Of course, Steve's project seemed to have a little more success than John's. But nevertheless, fast forward 3 years or so, and DeLorean's dream car would become part of one of Hollywood's biggest movies of the decade, Back to the Future. And video games? Well, they were everywhere. I had my favorite, more on that in just a little bit. In the world of sports, the San Francisco 49ers, with Joe Montana leading the team, won the Super Bowl. It was in 1982 that the Niners would become my favorite NFL team and would continue to be so for the better part of the next 2 decades. They were just a ton of fun to watch. Also worth noting that my little home state of Utah gained a bit of notoriety for the University of Utah medical team that successfully implanted the world's first artificial heart. Dr. Barney Clark would live a few extra months due to that team's noble efforts. Much less noble was the sick and twisted individual who tainted packages of Tylenol that ended up killing a bunch of people. I don't remember whether or not they ever caught someone, but holy cow, that was so sad. Such a tragedy. But you know what? We're not here to talk about science or medicine. Heck no, we're here to talk about music, movies, and television, so let's do exactly that. When I think about the one thing in the world of entertainment during 1982 that really stood above all else, it's this guy, Michael Jackson. Sure, Thriller wasn't released until November of that year, but the album was just so massive, and the cool thing is that Michael seemed so normal, in an extraordinary way, of course, and there's no denying the man's talent. Later on, he would go a little bit off the rails, in my opinion, but this album was a testament to the genius of Michael Jackson, to his innate ability to make hits. Songs like Billie Jean, Beat It, and the title track, Thriller, folks, they are really good stuff. And all of those songs had awesome videos that played night and day on MTV. Seriously, for a while there, it felt like MTV stood for Michael TV. During those final few months of my senior year in early 1982, I would skip school and swing by my favorite restaurant. A little fast food joint called Rennie's that had the most amazing burgers, and their fresh banana shake was absolutely killer. Anyway, I'd swing by, grab some grub, and hang out in the basement of my home watching MTV. As long as I could. I could do that for hours at a time. Music videos still felt new, and it was such an exciting time to see what my favorite musicians would come up with next. In order to pay for all those burgers and cable TV, my parents didn't want it, so I offered to pay half of the bill. Well, I needed a job, so I found employment at a local pizzeria named Robintino's. And although that restaurant has moved around the corner and down the street a bit, it's still around to this very day. I have some really good memories about working there, probably because most of my friends worked there as well. But I'm getting off track. Let's talk a little bit more about music. In 1982, I was really into the stuff that was coming over from England. Bands like Duran Duran, The Clash, and ABC were some of my favorites. And I loved the Boomtown Rats. You know, that band that sang about not liking Mondays? Sadly, I must admit that their 1982 album, V-Deep, is my least favorite of all of their releases. I remember reading a review about that album where the critics said that it was so lightweight that it felt like it might float right off the turntable. Fortunately, the band would rebound a few years later with their next release, In the Long Grass. Now, let me state for the record that I know that Olivia Newton-John's Physical album came out in 1981, but it was in 1982 that the album was really just playing everywhere. It was still flying high on the charts, and Olivia was absolutely, positively the queen of pop music at the time. During my final year of high school, it seemed like every girl in my senior class had a hairdo like Olivia's, complete with a headband. Whatever the damage done by the box office flop that was Xanadu, well, it had been completely forgotten by the time that Physical was released. Sadly, that would be the last album of Olivia's to really hit it big. Sure, she had a few more minor hits, but nothing like the chart toppers of the past. Okay, before we go any further, let's pause for a brief commercial message from, well, one of my favorite candy bars during the early 80s. Heck, what am I saying? It's still one of my favorite candy bars.
Chocolate.
Peanut butter.
Hey!
Oh, hey, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter.
Peanut butter on my chocolate.
What? Delicious.
Two great tastes that taste great together. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Real milk chocolate, delicious peanut butter.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
And Reese's Crunchy Peanut Butter Cups, topped with chopped peanuts.
Switching over to movies, the average price of admission in 1982 was $2.75. In today's dollars, that would be about $8. Whatever the cost, if I could, I would have gone to see a movie every single night. The cinema truly was my happy place, and there weren't many movies that I didn't like. In 1982, well, that was a banner year. Just think about it. We had films like E.T., Blade Runner, and The Thing that expanded my imagination. Eddie and Nick made me laugh in 48 Hours, and I think Diner may have been the first movie that I saw Steve Guttenberg in, or Mickey Rourke for that matter. But in my opinion, the hands-down best movie of 1982 was Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Oh my goodness, Ricardo Montalban just chewed up that movie. He was so good, every bit William Shatner's equal when it came to commanding the attention of a movie-going audience. To this day, Wrath of Khan is still my favorite of all of the Star Trek films. Over on the small screen, shows like Dynasty, Three's Company, The A-Team, and MASH ruled the day. Yeah, I know, I see that 60 Minutes in Dallas are at the top of the ratings chart there, but I didn't watch either of those shows back then, did you? One show that I did watch, however, was Cheers. I've always been a sucker for shows like this, where you're rooting for the two leads to realize that they were meant to be together. Both Shelley Long and Ted Danson were phenomenal. But beyond the leads, the entire cast was really good. It would take a couple of years for audiences to find Cheers. In fact, it was almost canceled at one point. But cooler heads prevailed, and now Cheers is remembered as one of the best TV sitcoms ever. A couple more shows that debuted in 1982 that I really enjoyed were Knight Rider, starring the great David Hasselhoff, and Remington Steele, which, at least to my knowledge, was the first time I saw Pierce Brosnan on TV, or on any screen for that matter. Also debuting in 1982 was Late Night with David Letterman. Thank heavens after graduating from high school I didn't have to get up early anymore, because I'm not sure that I could have. Letterman was can't-miss TV for me, and we were still a few years away from owning a VCR in the Sundstrom home, so if I wanted to watch Dave, I had to stay up. You couldn't watch a show whenever you wanted. That was crazy talk way back then. My, how things have changed. In 1982, the average cost of a new home was $82,000. Average income per year was $21,000. Average monthly rent was $320, and a new car would cost you about $8,000. And the cost of a gallon of gas was 91 cents. The cost of a home computer in 1982 was $299, at least if you wanted to pony up the cash for a brand spanking new Commodore VIC-20.
Why buy just a video game from Atari or Intellivision? Invest in the wonder computer of the 1980s for under $300, the Commodore VIC-20. Unlike games, it has a real computer keyboard. With the Commodore VIC-20, the whole family can learn computing at home. Plays great games, too. Under $300, the wonder computer of the 1980s, the Commodore VIC-20.
Coming soon, Commodore brings you Gorf, the Wonder Arcade game, and Omega Race in home versions. Commodore.
This would be the first computer that I owned, although I recall picking it up for slightly less than that price. Whatever I paid, I figured I was going to be saving money because I could quit spending all of my cash, at least my quarters, at the local arcade on this game. I appreciated Gorf because it was 4 games in one. As weird as it sounds to say, I felt like I was saving money when I played Gorf because each level was a different game. Of course, once I got my very own VIC-20, I was saving even more money. Yep, hours and hours of fun with nary a quarter spent. Alright, we're probably getting to the point where I ought to be thinking about wrapping things up, but before I do, I can't believe that I almost didn't mention Tron. This revolutionary movie, coming from the fine folks at Disney, was another favorite of mine. Alright, now it's your turn. Please share your thoughts and memories from 1982 in the comments section. And while you're at it, I would appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I would be absolutely honored if you would consider subscribing to my little YouTube channel. I talk about music, movies, and mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching. All right. Jay Aldridge says, referring to my stomach flu, I'm surprised you're not in bed, and yes, it is contagious. Well, I've slept for the last, I got up early this afternoon after being in bed for a day and a half, and I pretty much slept the entire time. So I had harbored ideas of going into work tomorrow, but unless I get feeling better, I'm not going to. And we'll just sleep some more and try to wear this thing down. I'll try to take some of the great advice that many of you have offered here in the chat tonight. All right, so what are we going to do next? We are going to give away 5 channel memberships. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the button to do that. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to start another set of commercials. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to give away the memberships. So thank you, John. I appreciate you saying so. It was so much fun to put that one together. It's a couple years old now, but I really remember putting it together and had a lot of fun. Nope, we're not wrapping it up. We've got probably another 20, 25 minutes left. So stick around, Booger 14. It's good to have you here. What I'm going to do is play some commercials for a couple minutes. And while I do that, I'm giving away 5 channel memberships to folks that are not currently channel members. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll come back and we're going to play a game, have some fun. All right. Thanks, folks. Be right back.
Planters nuts? Not Mommy's regular snacks. Maybe it's Christmas.
Planters nuts? Gladys, today's not the Super Bowl.
She's serving Planters nuts. I think I'm underdressed.
Planters cocktail peanuts with their special crunchy fresh roasted flavor is the snack that makes ordinary occasions special.
Planters nuts? This must be first class.
Today's kind of candy, granola clusters are sweet and natural.
Nature Valley granola clusters. Luscious nougat. Creamy caramel. With toasty honey mixed granola.
Sweet and natural.
100% natural. No additives, no preservatives. In caramel, almond, and raisin.
Granola clusters are
Granola's answer to candy.
sweet and natural.
Now you see it, now you don't. Here you have it, here you won't.
Oh, Diet Pepsi, 1 small calorie. Now you see it, now you don't.
That great Pepsi taste.
Diet Pepsi won't go to your waist. So now you see it, now you don't. Oh, Diet Pepsi, 1 small calorie. Now you see it, now you don't.
Cheers Day. Fonzie doubles for Frankie Avalon. Until the real Frankie shows up. Happy days. Then on Laverne and Shirley, Carmine gets a chance to play Rocky. But he has to beat the best to get the part.
What do you eat, furniture?
Then the President's State of the Union address. Then on Three's Company, Jack loses his sex appeal. Then the Democratic response to the President.
Tuesday, starting at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
All right. As you saw, I decided to give away 10. I'm allotted 10 for the month, and I thought I'd do 5 tonight and 5 at another time during the month. But I don't know if we'll have another live stream for everyone this month. Hopefully we will, but either way, I decided to give them all away tonight. Let's see who our winners are. Melissa Foster, congratulations. Auntie M. CBR 900 Double R Blitzer. Anton Miles, that's great. Miles High, awesome. Let's see who else. Amy B, Houdini's mom, Deep End Girl, Nefer and Trixie. Love it. Love it. And Lance Chaffin asks, channel member Lance Chaffin, who are these people? Well, here's the deal. There's probably about 20 to 30 of you that are active in the chat, but there are another 20 or so people often who are simply here enjoying the live stream and enjoying reading the chat, but not necessarily participating. So those folks, looks like a large portion of those folks who were our winners tonight, and I'm very excited for each one of them. Blatchy Bear asked if I have the Hawaiian Punch commercial. I'm sure I have a couple of Hawaiian Punch commercials. I know I have the ones with Donnie Marie where they're singing "Come On, Go Hawaiian," but I know the ones you're talking about. One with had like a nice Hawaiian Punch. I think those were from the late 70s. Oh, let's see. Jay Aldridge has had the stomach flu 10 times during his life. I think this, maybe I've had it once before, but I've never had anything like that. Hey, child, I hope at some point in the future you win a membership as well. And Rachel in the 208, Membership is only a couple of bucks a month. So if you really want to be members, I'd encourage you to go out. And these memberships only last for 1 month. They're just 1 month trial memberships. So I wouldn't be overly disappointed, but it does give people a chance to see what being a member of the channel is like. So let's see. And YouTube selects them for me. So I have no control over who they are given to. And I will take your recommendation, Jay. Like I said, I was thinking about going into work tomorrow, but unless I feel tremendously better in the morning, I will not. But back to the gift memberships, congratulations to one and all. Super excited for you and super excited to have you perhaps participate in an upcoming channel member live stream. Those are a lot of fun because it's great to have large audiences here, right? But it's also great to have smaller groups. And that way I can address everybody's questions and it's just a smaller, more intimate conversation. Okay, so here we are. Let's play a little game. The way this game is going to work tonight, it's not your traditional trivia. I'm going to give you a first name. And the first name is going to be the main character of a show that was on television here in the United States in 1982. So, and we'll check scores after 3, after 6, and then at the end again and see how everybody did. So let me go ahead and pull that up on the screen. And here is your first name, by the way, your very first name. Janet. Now your choices are Dallas, Happy Days, House Calls, or Three's Company. Let me get my little timer on the clock. Got the timer counting. So Janet, what show had a main character named Janet? Was it Dallas, Happy Days, House Calls, or Three's Company? Justin, I'll be very disappointed if you get this one wrong. All right, and the correct answer, let's get this off the screen. Correct answer is, of course, Three's Company. Janet Wood was played by the lovely Joyce DeWitt. Moving on to number 2, Higgins. We start the timer. Was Higgins on Dynasty, Hit Heart to Heart, Magnum P.I., or T.J. Hooker? So this isn't a first name, but it's a name that he was called. And it was Higgins on Dynasty, Heart to Heart, Magnum P.I., or T.J. Hooker. Got just about 5 seconds left. We take that off the screen, and the correct answer is, of course, Magnum P.I. Let's go one more before we check scores. Lionel. Was Lionel on the Dukes of Hazzard? Take that off the screen for a second so you can see that. Dukes of Hazzard, The Facts of Life, The Jeffersons, or The Love Boat? And I see a super chat from John Collins. Let me go ahead and I can't get it off the screen there. All right, the correct answer for this one is The Jeffersons. All right, I'm going to get scores from everybody in just a moment, but I do want to find that super chat if I can and address John's comment. John said, congratulations to the new members. May they enjoy the best YouTube channel on YouTube for years to come. The person behind Dave is not a massive conglomerate. He is simply a wonderful man. Well, thank you, John. yeah, the person behind me is pretty much just me. And I love the community that we have created here on YouTube, and certainly appreciate you, John, for being the staunch supporter of the channel that you are. Truly appreciate you, my friend. All right, let's get back and let's look at scores. Let me go over here and let's see if we can get some scores on the screen. Gotta scroll back down for scores. Here we go. Let's see. Kenneth Wilkinson's 3 out of 3. Mike Evans is 3 out of 3. Chance notices that is Lionel number 1. Yep, that's Mike Evans there. Emily Miller's 3 out of 3. Nick Mamona's 3 out of 3. David C. 3 out of 3. You guys are doing well. I kind of thought we might do well with this one tonight. Rachel in the 208, 3 of 3. Karen Lester. Hey, Karen, good to have you here. 3 of 3. Patricia is 3 out of 3. Keith is 3 out of 3. Benj 3 times is 3 out of 3. The Nostalgic Pod Blast, otherwise known as Chance, is 3 out of 3. Jay Aldridge is 3 out of 3. Terrell is 3 out of 3. Tracy Roth Myers is 3 out of 3. Yes, I am as massive of a conglomerate as one person can be. Channel member Justin Aylett, 3 out of 3. Channel member Ms. Elizabeth, aka Music Girl 67, 3 out of 3. Steve Tevis, 3 out of 3. Deborah Battle, 3 out of 3. Justin Aylett says, if I'm 3 out of 3, I know this isn't Thrash's live stream or trivia or video. Booger 414, 3 out of 3. Hey, there's gonna be a couple of tougher ones here. Auburn Kim's 3 out of 3. Jerry Gillespie's 3 out of 3. All right, let's keep rolling here. Let's keep rolling. BJ. Where would we find BJ? On Archie Bunker's Place, MASH, Three's Company, or Too Close for Comfort? Again, where would we find a character with the name of BJ? Was it Archie Bunker's Place, MASH, Three's Company, or Too Close for Comfort? Correct answer is, of course, MASH. BJ Honeycutt, a.k.a. Beej, played by Mike Farrell. Let's keep moving. Meryl. Was Meryl on Dallas, Dynasty, The Love Boat, or Magnum P.I.? Again, this character's name was Meryl. Was he on Dallas, Dynasty, The Love Boat, or Magnum P.I.? Time's up. Correct answer is The Love Boat. Captain Meryl Stubing. Blake. Was Blake on Dallas, Dynasty, House Calls, or Little House on the Prairie? Again, Blake. Was Blake on Dallas, Dynasty, House Calls, or Little House on the Prairie? Just about 5 seconds left. I'll go ahead and take the timer off the screen. Correct answer is, of course, Dynasty. Blake Carrington. And that takes us to 6 questions. Let's see how folks are doing. Let's put some scores on the screen. Come on, tell me how you're doing, folks. Lots of 6s, 6 out of 6s, maybe? Maybe a few 5 out of 6s? Oh, Raja 1938 says, a.k.a. Charles Townsend. Very true. Very true. At least the voice, right? All right, let's see some scores here. Kenneth Wilkinson, 6 out of 6. Dave Thomas, 5 out of 6. Booger 414, 5 out of 6. Channel member Justin Aylett, 4 of 6. Chance the Nostalgic Podblast, 6 of 6. Channel member Emily Miller, 6 of 6. Nick Mamona, 6 of 6. Jay Aldridge, 6 of 6. Channel member Keith E, 6 out of 6. Rachel in the 208, 6 of 6. Let's see. Tamara Holloway, 6 of 6. Steve Tevis, 6 of 6. Deborah Battle, 6 of 6. You're all doing so well. Terrell Eugene Bellinger, 6 of 6. Thanks for joining us, 66 Gimbal. Good to have you here. David C, 5 of 6. Benj 3X says 6 of 6. Tracy, channel member Tracy Rothmeyer, 6 for 6. Karen Lester, 6 of 6. Jerry Gillespie, 6 of 6. R.I.P. Joyce Randolph. Let's see. Ms. Elizabeth, channel member Music Girl 67, 6 of 6. John Collins is 3 of 3 because he was busy sending a super chat. And that super chat was highly appreciated, John. Thanks so much, my friend. All right, let's finish this game up. What do you say? Let's go on to the next one. Colt. Was Colt on Dallas, The Facts of Life, The Fall Guy, or T.J. Hooker? Again, the name in question is Colt. Was Colt on Dallas, The Facts of Life, The Fall Guy, or T.J. Hooker? Okay. Correct answer, of course, is Colt Seavers, played by Lee Majors, in The Fall Guy. Moving on. Lenny. Was Lenny on Archie Bunker's Place, Falcon Crest, Hill Street Blues, or Laverne and Shirley? Again, the name is Lenny that we are considering. And the question is, was that character on Archie Bunker's Place, Falcon Crest, Hill Street Blues, or Laverne and Shirley? Correct answer for that one is, of course, Laverne and Shirley. Lenny, played by the great Michael McKean. Next one is Willie. Did Willie show up on The Facts of Life, Little House on the Prairie, The Love Boat, or MASH? Again, the name that we are considering this time is Willie. Was the character on The Facts of Life, Little House on the Prairie, The Love Boat, or MASH? This one might be one of the tougher ones here. Willie, Willie, Willie. By the way, finished watching Fargo. And I know Bob isn't here with us tonight, but I can't wait to watch his final thoughts on his channel. I'm talking about Thresh Pondo Ponds. He's been doing an episode by episode kind of recap of Fargo season 5, and it couldn't have ended any better than it did. Really loved it. Correct answer here is Little House on the Prairie. Little Willie Olson, Nellie's younger brother. All right, I think we got one more. Muriel. Did Muriel show up on Archie Bunker's Place, Happy Days, House Calls? I was going to say Laverne and Shirley. House Calls, or Too Close for Comfort? Final name to consider tonight is Muriel. Did Muriel show up on Archie Bunker's Place, Happy Days, House Calls, or Too Close for Comfort? All right. Correct answer is Muriel was Ted. Oh my goodness, Ted Watt's wife. I want to say Ted Grant. That's not right. Ted Knight's wife on Too Close for Comfort, and played by Nancy. I think the way they say her name. I always said back then DeSalt, but I think it was DeSault or DeSault. I think that L and T might have been silent. But anyway, yes, Muriel. I can still hear him calling her name. So how did you do? Let's see what your final scores are, folks. Let's go into the comments section. see how everybody did. Let's see. We got Rachel in the 208 who had a perfect score. What's moving too fast for me here? There we go. Perfect score. G. Aldridge was perfect as well with 10 out of 10. Karen Lester was 9 out of 10. Channel member Keith E. was 9 out of 10. Booger 414 was 9 out of 10. Terrell Eugene Bellinger, a.k.a. Teb, is 10 out of 10, as was Kenneth Wilkinson. Nick Mamonis, 9 out of 10. David C., 8 out of 10. Benj 3X, 10 out of 10. Chance was 10 out of 10. Steve was 10 out of 10. Deborah was 10 out of 10. Jerry got them all right tonight. Gary Carpenter was 6 out of 10. Jennifer Koopman was 10 out of 10. It's okay if you guessed right. That's still a perfect score. Channel member Emily Miller, 10 out of 10, which is 10 times better than my score on Bob's streams. Channel member Justin Aylett was 6 out of 10 tonight. As long as you got the Janet Wood one right, Justin. Jessica Lester was 6 out of 10. Oh, Ms. Elizabeth confused Muriel with Marion on Happy Days. 9 out of 10. Good job, either way. Yes, she was an original co-host of Good Morning America. Very, very sharp. 6 out of 6. See you on Sunday afternoon, John. Treat to have you there. Hope all you folks that are channel members or considering being channel members might be able to join me on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Like I said, it's a smaller, more intimate get-together, and I do my very best to address every single question that comes on the chat, whereas it's something that I can't do here because it just moves too fast for me. I'm pushing too many buttons already. I don't get to see the chat, most of it, until later. Tamara Holloway, 6 of 10. Am I feeling better yet? No, I'm feeling worse, if you want to know the truth. Let's see. Thank you so much, Jay. Appreciate that. David C. says if you're 10 out of 10, you're officially a couch potato. I'm glad you enjoyed it, a child. Glad you enjoyed it. It was great having you as well as everyone else here with me tonight. So that's it. 1982. Tremendous time to be alive. A tremendous time for music, movies, and television. Thanks to everyone for joining. Oh, I just see a get well wish from Justin Aylett. He sent me an email earlier today. Here's some bonus trivia. What's the most used word? Excuse me. What's the most used word in movie titles? Anyone want to give it a guess before we call it a night? First person to get it right? Well, I don't have a prize to offer, but you do have my admiration. The most used word in a movie titles. The first person to get it right was our friend Chance. Correct answer is the. And lots of folks got it. I see afterwards. I see Jennifer, Booger 414, David C, 66 Kimmel, Blatchy Bear, Jerry Gillespie. So yeah, good job, everybody. That would have been a good guess, Emily. Channel member Emily Miller says, and. That's probably the second most used word. It's been a rough one. It's been a rough couple of days, like I told folks at the beginning. And I've whined about it pretty much nonstop throughout the stream. I've got the stomach flu and really am miserable because of it. But you all have made the last hour just a little bit more delightful. You kind of helped me through this last hour. Thanks for all the advice. I'll definitely take some of it. And I'm going to go end this live stream here in just a minute. And I'm going to hit the sack and see if I can't get feeling better. So thanks everyone for joining me tonight. I do have, it's tradition at this point. We need to bring Fred on to tell all of you how I feel about you. So thanks everyone. Have a great night and we'll talk to you all soon. 1982.
Are special.